All right, welcome back to another game of On-Base Baseball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of this game. And we are going to continue our 1980 National League Championship Series. We are all the way to game number 4. Houston leads the series 2-1. They won the last game by a score of 4-3. They scored 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth on a 1-out, 2-run single from Terry Poole. Scored Danny Walling, Landestoy and Luis Pujols for the game-winning runs in the bottom of the ninth inning against Tug McGraw. Let's see if Philadelphia can even this one up. This was actually played on October 11th, 1980. And let's go ahead and get things started. So for the Phillies, it's going to be Lonnie Smith getting the start in left field. He'll be leading off. Pete Rose is second, hitting second and playing first base. Mike Schmidt at third base. He'll be hitting third. Bake McBride slides down to the cleanup spot. He's in right field. Manny Trio is at second base, hitting fifth. Gary Maddox is in center field, hitting sixth. Larry Boa is at short. He is hitting seventh. Bob Boone is the catcher. He is hitting eighth. And Steve Carlton on short rest is going to come back and pitch. He is batting ninth. For the Astros, it's Terry Poole in center field leading off. Enos Cabell at third base is hitting second. Joe Morgan at second base is hitting third in the lineup. Gary Woods gets the start in right field. Cesar Cedeno had an injury in game number 3 in real life, so he was out. I want to say he fractured his foot or his leg, something like that. So Gary Woods gets the start in right field. Art Howe is going to bat fifth. He is at first base. Jose Cruz is the left fielder. He is hitting sixth. Luis Pujols gets the start at catcher. He's hitting seventh. Landestoy, Rafael, I think is his name, Rafael Landestoy. He'll be hitting eighth and playing short. And Vern Rule gets a start as a pitcher. Rule, a right-hander, can go 23 batters for his stamina. 3.24 is his FIP on the year in 22 games started. 28 games pitched. He was 12-4 with a 2.37 ERA and pitched in 159 and a third innings. He will be opposed by Steve Carlton. Carlton 24-9 on the season, 2.34 ERA, 2.42 FIP, 304 innings pitched, 286 strikeouts, only 90 walks in 300 plus innings. All right, so let's get this one started. Philadelphia to Houston. Houston wins this. They go on to the World Series to take on the Royals. The Royals beat the Yankees in 5 in my tabletop replay. So this is using the 1980 on-base baseball set that you can pick up at clarkandaddisongaming.com. And right there at the top of the homepage, you should be able to see the 1980 season. And you can either add that to your cart and continue shopping, or you can just buy it right then. All right, let's get into this one. Lonnie Smith is first up. He's 14 batting runs, and he'll be playing in left field. He's a right-handed batter. Then it'll be Rose and Schmidt facing off against Vern Rule. So Rule is ready, and he delivers to the first batter of the game, Lonnie Smith. This is going to be a fly out down the right field line, and right away we have an error check, and there's no problem in right field for Gary Woods, who gets tested with his first start in the series. But that's going to be out number 1 as the very speedy Lonnie Smith. He has an 8 speed. Very speedy Lonnie Smith is down for out number 1. Brings up Pete Rose, switch hitting first baseman. This comes off of the pitcher card, and 11 is going to be a strikeout as Vern Rule gets Pete Rose to swing through a breaking ball. And that's going to be out number 2. Not a lot of Ks for Vern Rule, just a 9% K percentage. That's definitely lower than the average. The average probably 15 or 16% at this stage of baseball history. And that brings up Mike Schmidt. Schmidt, 286 average, 48 homers, 121 RBIs, 172 weighted runs created, and a 9 WAR in 1980. 13 is going to be a ground out as he scorches one right to the shortstop. And the shortstop is going to be Landestoy. He makes the play over to first. And that'll be a 1-2-3 inning for Vern Rule as Mike Schmidt grounds out to short. And up come the Astros. The Astros will be facing lefty, Steve Carlton. Carlton in his first game, he pitched game 1 and got the win. 8 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 8 Ks. Let's see how he does in this one, if he can get the win for his team. The 35 is going to be a strikeout. That's a good start. And that will be a strikeout swinging as Terry Poole goes down swinging for out number 1. Brings up Enos Cabell. Cabell -10 batting runs. Pretty fast with a 6 speed, but not much going on for him, especially power-wise. 276 average, 2 homers, 55 RBIs, and 600, a little more than 600 at bats. A 46 is going to be a fly ball that goes out to right center field as he punches this one out the opposite way, and that will be a fly ball out to the center fielder, Gary Maddox. It's going to bring up Joe Morgan, left-handed batting second baseman. Hall of Famer Joe Morgan, 243 average, 11 homers, 49 RBIs, and 461 at-bats for the Astros. He has a 12 batting runs and still runs at a 6 speed. 26 is going to be a base knock. That's into left center field. And the left fielder is Lonnie Smith, and he's going to have a hard time with that one. So that's going to be a single with an E7. As Smith has a hard time picking it up out there off the AstroTurf. And Joe Morgan scoots into second base on the mistake. So Joe Morgan is second base with 2 outs. It's been a pretty familiar position for the Astros, as Morgan's had a really good series, but they just haven't been able to bring him in consistently. Let's see if Gary Woods can change the narrative. He's not going to. He is going to strike out, and that's going to be a strikeout looking. So bookend strikeouts for Steve Carlton ends the threat as Joe Morgan stranded at second base yet again for the Astros. We go to the top of the second inning, no score. And it will be Bake McBride, Manny Trio, and Gary Maddox for the Phillies. Not exactly the most power-packed lineup in history for the Phillies here, but we'll see what they do with it. It's going to be a fly out that goes out to right center field as Bake McBride gets around on it, but out in center field is going to be Terry Poole. He's playing center in this game and not in right, and he'll make the catch in right center field for out number 1. Manny Trio to the plate, 292 average, 7 homers, 43 RBIs, 330 WOBA in 1980. 55 is going to be a line out, and that line drive goes to the shortstop. Actually, we'll call that a line out to the left fielder. So a line out to 7, and that's Jose Cruz coming in on that line drive and makes a fine running catch. 2 down now in the inning, and Gary Maddox to the plate. Maddox batting right-handed. A 25 is going to be a fly ball. That's out to left center field. As he gets around on it, let's check the error. There's no error on the play. So Terry Poole runs that one down in left center field as he makes a couple of catches in the inning. Another 1-2-3 inning for Vern Rule, who's looking good so far. And we head to the bottom of the second inning. Still no score. Art Howe to the plate. Howe, 283 average, 10 homers, 46 RBIs in only 110 games. He's facing off against the lefty Carlton. He's batting right-handed. Howe with a 34. That's going to be a fly ball out into left center field. That one's going to hang up, though, for the left fielder Smith, who has no problem getting under it. Smith, not a great fielder out there, but he manages to squeeze it for out number 1. Brings Jose Cruz to the plate. And a 12 for Jose Cruz. He pounds this one into the ground to first base. No problem at first base for Pete Rose. Catches it on a little short hop, runs it over to first himself. And that's going to be out number 2. Luis Pujols to the plate. He's a catcher. He's minus 17 batting runs. Just an average fielding catcher. 35 is going to be a strikeout, as he strikes out swinging. Strikeout number 3 for Steve Carlton. Carlton with 286 Ks in 304 innings pitched. So 23% K percentage. Obviously one of the great strikeout pitchers of all time. Some of that is length, some of that is just domination. And we head to the top of the 3rd inning, still no score. Philadelphia is going to send up their bottom 3, Larry Bowa, Bob Boone, and the pitcher, Steve Carlton. Larry Bowa is going to hit a little tapper out in front of the plate. Pouncing on it is Pujols, and he's going to throw out Bowa at first. Gets him by a couple of steps. 1 out in the inning. Bob Boone to the plate. Boone, a right-handed batter, minus 16 batting runs. And he is going to take a walk here. So Boone is at first base with 1 out. I think the play here is to go ahead and bunt with Steve Carlton. It'll be a successful bunt if it's a 3 through 9. And that is a sacrifice hit. We'll call that out number 2. And going to second base is Bob Boone. So runner in scoring position, he'll score on a base hit. Let's see if Lonnie Smith can drive in the first run of the game. He flied out to right field in his first at-bat. A 34 is going to be another fly out. This one goes out to left center field, as he gives that one a pretty good ride, but out in center field is going to be Terry Poole, and he's going to make the catch for out number 3. So Philadelphia gets a man into scoring position in the 3rd, and they cannot bring him home. So we head to the bottom of the 3rd. It's no score. Philadelphia at Houston. This is game 4 of the 1980 NLCS. And Houston will send up Rafael Landistoi, Vern Rule, the pitcher, and then back to the top of the order with Terry Poole. They're facing off against Steve Carlton, the big lefty. This is going to be a ground out with an error check. So he scalds this one to second base. Possible error on the second baseman. Manny Trio is a plus fielder, so it would require a 1 for an error. So Trio makes the play to his left. He spins, he fires to first, and he makes a really nice play there on Landistoi, speedy middle infielder. Vern Rule to the plate now. This will be his first at bat. He's a minus 1 batting run, so actually pretty decent. He's a column 2 hitter. 14 is going to be a walk. Walk to the pitcher, that's the tough one. That is the first walk of the game for Carlton, and that puts a runner at first base. Vern Rule not a threat to steal. So Terry Poole's going to have to drive him in. Let's see what he's got. Lefty-lefty matchup. A 55 is going to be a double play, and that will go to shortstop. TaylorMade 643, as the flip goes from Bowa to Trio to Rose, and that's going to end your inning as they get the runner at second base, and then they get Terry Poole at first. Nice play on the infield for the middle infielders, and that gets Steve Carlton out of the inning. We head to the top of the 4th. It's still no score in this game 4. Houston leads 2-1. If they win here, they're going to put it away and go to the World Series. Or can Philadelphia force a game 5? This will be a fly out for Pete Rose. Rose struck out in his first at bat. This time he's going to fly out to dead center field. No problem out in center field for Terry Poole, as he makes the catch for out number 1. Mike Schmidt to the plate. Schmidt really one of the only threats in the Philadelphia lineup. A 16 is going to be a deep fly ball. That one is hammered out into left center field. Going back on it with his back to the infield is going to be Terry Poole, but he's going to make the catch near the warning track on a deep fly from Mike Schmidt. Schmidt now 0 for 2 in the game. and brings up Bake McBride. McBride, 13 batting runs, 309 average, 9 homers, 87 RBIs. One of his best seasons as a professional, and he lifts this one out to left center or left field. And going back and finding a place near the warning track is going to be the left fielder Jose Cruz. That's another 1-2-3 inning for Vern Rule, who is looking really nice in this one. And we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, still tied at 0. For Houston, it'll be Enos Cabell, Joe Morgan, and Gary Woods. Gary Woods. 33, that's going to come off of Carlton's card. That's going to be a strikeout swinging. And that's strikeout number 4 for Steve Carlton. 4 Ks in 3 1/3. Brings up Joe Morgan. Morgan singled in his last at-bat and advanced on an error. This time he's going to fly out to deep left field, down the left field line as he pokes this one the other way. And that's got some carry to it, but it's going to stay in the ballpark. As the left fielder, Lonnie Smith, goes into the corner and makes a nice play for out number 2. Brings up Gary Woods. Gary Woods, in 19 games, just 53 at-bats, he hit .377 with 2 homers and 15 RBIs. 5.3 is his batting runs. 55 is going to be a line out as he hits it hard, but he hits it right at the first baseman. And the first baseman is Pete Rose. He reaches over to his left and he makes the catch. And that'll be a 1-2-3 inning as the Astros go down in order. In the 4th inning, we head to the top of the 5th. Still no score in this one. Good pitchers matchup. And we have Vern Rule going against Manny Trio, Gary Maddox, and Larry Boa. 24 is going to be a strikeout looking. So Vern Rule gets another K. That's strikeout number 2 for him. Like I said, 55 Ks in just 159 innings pitched is not lighting the world on fire, but he's not exactly doing that in this game either. We're going to get a walk here to Gary Maddox, the speedy Gary Maddox. Let's look at his stolen bases, 25 out of 30. Let's go ahead and try to steal second with him and see if we can get him into scoring position. Going to have to really force the issue a little bit, scoring runs in this game. A10 is going to be a throw out. So just as I say that, he gets thrown out at second. He was a 1-6 to be safe, so 60% chance. And he gets gunned down at second base by Luis Pujols. And that brings up Larry Boa. Larry Boa grounded out to the catcher his first time up. This is going to be a grounder right back to the pitcher. So far, Boa has not hit the ball out of the infield in 2 at-bats. That'll be another 1-2-3 inning for Vern Rule. And we head to the bottom of the 5th. Philadelphia at Houston. This game is scoreless. It'll be Art Howe, Jose Cruz, and Luis Pujols to the plates. Carlton delivers, and he misses with ball 4. That's going to put Art Howe at first base. Howe just a 4-speed. Not a lot. You can see 1 stolen base. 1 for 1 in the stolen base department. Brings up Jose Cruz. Cruz an opportunity, 302 average, 11 homers, 91 RBIs. A 23 is going to be a ground out with an error check. So it's a ground out to the shortstop. We check the error, and there's no error on the play. It's going to be Larry Boa pitching it to Manny Trio at second. That's all they're going to get, as a good tough slide at second base takes out the second baseman Trio, and they can't turn 2. So Jose Cruz now at first base. He's 6-speed, and let's go and try with him. Can they keep throwing runners out? I don't know. 1-6, he'll be safe at second. He takes off. It's a 5, and he's just in there ahead of the tag, and that's going to be a stolen base for Jose Cruz as he puts himself in scoring position for Luis Pujols. 1 out, 1 on. A 25 is going to be a fly ball with an error check. That goes out to right center field. We're checking the error on the right fielder, Bake McBride. McBride is a plus fielder, and he gets there and he makes that catch. That'll be out number 2. The runner's going to hold at second as he's in scoring position. A base hit will score the first run of the game. Let's see if Rafael Landeskog can come through. 247 hitter, 1 homer, 27 RBIs. A 45, though, is going to be a long single as he lifts one down the right field line over the first baseman. And Landeskog, as a 7 speed, is going to turn that single into a double, and that's going to be an RBI single for Rafael Landeskog. Sorry, RBI double. So he drives in the first run of the game. Jose Cruz comes across the plate. And we have Vern Rule to the plate. Another base hit would score another run. A 44 is going to be a flyout. So he flies out into right center field. It's going to be the center fielder taking it and calling off the right fielder. So Maddox makes the catch. But Houston manages to squeak across a run, and that'll be the first run of the game. They take a 1-0 lead as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Vern Rule still in the game for the Stros. He can go 23 batters. He's at 16 right now. Carlton is at 18, so he's looking good. And we'll just let these guys go at it for a little while and see how this goes. 23 to Bob Boone is going to be a walk. Boone now on twice. He has 2 of the 3 walks given up by Vern Rule. Here we go ahead and leave Carlton in. Let's have him sacrifice again. A 1 or a 2, he'll be out. Otherwise, it'll be a sacrifice. It's a 4, and that's a good sacrifice hit as he does his job. Sorry, that's out number 1. And going to second base is going to be Bob Boone. So Carlton lays down the bunt and gets a man in scoring position for Lonnie Smith. Lonnie Smith, a couple of flyouts. 35 is going to be a strikeout as he swings through a Vern Rule fastball. It's actually going to be out number 2. So 2 down in the inning. And Pete Rose, the final hope. 2 outs is good because Bob Boone will score automatically on a base hit. Let's see if Pete Rose can come through. 282 average, 1 homer, 64 RBIs for Rose. He is going to ground out, though. This is a little tapper down the first base line. Picking it up and making a good throw to first is going to be Pujols, and that's out number 3. So the Phillies go down again. They get another man into scoring position, and they cannot bring him home. Just can't seem to get that big hit when they need it. Schmidt's coming up in the next inning, so we'll see if he can do a little damage. For the Astros, they're back to the top of the order. It's Terry Poole, Enos Cabell, and Joe Morgan. Terry Poole, that's going to be a base hit off of Carlton as he hits one. Solid single past the second baseman into right center field. And Terry Poole's at first base. I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice with Enos Cabell. 1 or 2, he'll be out. Otherwise, it's a good sacrifice. It's a 4, and he gets the bunt down. And that's going to move the runner over. So that'll be the first out of the inning. And Terry Poole now in scoring position. Joe Morgan coming to the plate. I trust Morgan. 740 OPS. 243 average, but 119 weighted runs created. A 22, that's going to be a big-time hit as he triples down the right field line, and Joe Morgan comes through in the clutch with an RBI triple. That's going to drive in the run from second base, and the Astros now have a 2-0 lead over the Phillies. Big-time play from the Hall of Famer, as he has been a stalwart in this one. Really high slugging percentage, a lot of doubles, triples. So Gary Woods comes to the plate. A 15 for Woods, that's going to be a base hit, and that's going to drive in another run as he hits it over the second baseman's head into right center field. That'll drive home the runner from third as Joe Morgan jogs home on the RBI single, and the lead is now 3-0. Art Howell, he walked in his last at bat. 16 is going to be a deep fly ball down the right field line. Heading into the corner is the right fielder McBride, and he's going to be up against the warning track and makes the catch. That is going to move the runner from first to second, as that's out number 2, and it was deep enough that Gary Woods was able to move up on the play. Jose Cruz to the plate, man in scoring position. Can make it an even 3 runs for this inning as he lifts this one out into left center field. That one's being driven back to the wall, and right with his back up against the wall is going to be the left fielder Lonnie Smith as he makes the catch just short of a home run. And 2 runs are going to come in for the Astros in the 6th. It's now 3-0 Houston as they look to eliminate the Phillies. Do the Phillies have some fight in them? That is the question. And we head to the top of the 7th inning. 3-0 is our score. Vern Rule is still on the mound. He can go 23 batters. He's at 20 right now. 20. He's facing Mike Schmidt. Schmidt 0 for 2. He's got a ground out and a fly out. He's going to add another grounder. This one goes to the shortstop. And it is the shortstop Landestoy who makes the play over to first. Mike Schmidt is the first out of the inning. We head to, we're in the top of the 7th. It's Bake McBride to the plate. McBride a couple of flyouts. He had 13 batting runs in 1980, and he is going to walk here. That's the 4th walk issued by Vern Rule. Bake McBride, 6 batting runs, but they really just need to put together some hits here in order to get back into this one. Manny Trio comes up. A 45 is going to be a single with an error check, so that's the base hit right up the middle. We do an error check on the center fielder. There's no error on the play. And Bake McBride is going to move up 1 base. He won't challenge the arm. That's going to bring up Gary Maddox's spot. Maddox is playing in center field. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to pinch hit with Greg Luzinski for Gary Maddox. And we'll insert Luzinski into left field. So 9 minus 3. So he'll come in here. And Lonnie Smith is going to move to center field in the 7th. All right. So Greg Luzinski into the game to pinch hit. 228 average, but he did have 19 homers and 56 RBIs. You go from a player who is a column 1 or column 4 batter to a player who's a column 2 batter. So we move up a little bit. First at bat of the game for Luzinski, it's a payoff, so that's going to be a single. That's into left center field, and we're going to have an error check on the center fielder. Possible error. Terry Poole's a plus, so no error on the play, but that's going to push all the runners up. The question here is, do we try to score Bake McBride? We're not going to try to score Bake McBride. We got Larry Boa coming to the plate. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to try a squeeze play with Larry Boa. And if you look on our chart here, the squeeze play, if it's a 1-3, it's a strikeout. If it's it's a misprint, 4-9. So a 4-9 is a successful bunt. So we're looking for 4 or greater, and the bunt will come in successfully. It's a 7, and that is going to be a successful squeeze bunt. So that means The runner is going to be out at first. So let's just call it like, I don't know. We'll just call it 1-3 on the put out. I don't know. You have to make it up. So that's going to be a fielder's choice. Fielder's choice. Fielder's choice. So on the fielder's choice, Larry Bow is going to pick up an RBI on the squeeze. The score is now 3-1, and we got Bob Boone coming to the plate. Probably not going to squeeze with Bob Boone. So let's see what he can do. 25 is going to be a flyout with an error check. That goes down the left field line. So we're checking the left fielder, Jose Cruz, and he makes a costly error. Oh my gosh, that's the kind of stuff that legendary games are made of. So that's going to bring home the runner from third. And that will push the runner from second to third. 2 runs are in, and I think we're going to get another pinch hitter here. Let's see what we got. Got Greg Gross, Dell Unser. Those 2 guys are about the same. George Vukovic, Bob Walk as a pitcher. Trying to think of who I've seen as their bench players. Yeah, these are guys, all pitchers. Bob Dernier, McCarver. All right, so this looks like our bench here. We got Keith Moreland, Greg Gross, Dell Unser. Lefty, lefty, righty. Let's go with Aviles. Let's go with Greg Gross. I don't really have a hunch or anything either way. So we're going to put Greg Gross in the game. Steve Carlton is out. So we're going to need a new pitcher here. Greg Gross is in the game. So left, -2, -4. And he'll be pinch hitting for the pitcher. We're also going to get a pitching change. So they announce the batter, and then out comes the pitching change. So let's see what we got. Looks like Randy Neiman is our left-hander. So they're going to go with the left-handed pitcher. He can go 7 batters, and he's a 3-5-4. So column 2 pitcher, and he'll face off against Greg Gross. So now we're all set. Top of the 7th inning. We have 2 outs. Is that right? 2 outs in the inning. And 2 are in. There is a runner at third base and a runner at first base. And Greg Gross is at the plate with the game on the line. At 44, that's going to be a fly ball as he tags it. Straightaway right field, pedaling back on it, is the right fielder. And that'll be Gary Wood short of the track as he makes a fine catch in right. And that will be the last out of the inning. Philadelphia does get 2 as they squeak a couple of runs across on an error by the left fielder Cruz, and also on a squeeze play. So small ball to the max, right? All right, we got to go. We don't have to go with Tug McGraw. In fact, I'm going to go with Dickie Knowles. Tug McGraw pitched and lost. in the last game. What did he do? Oh, it's on the back side of here. So Tug McGraw goes an inning and a third. He took the L in the last game. So let's let Dickie Knowles go out there for the 7th. And then we'll see about the 8th. Maybe we'll leave the 8th and the 9th for Tug McGraw. So this is where pitcher came in. I can figure all these out later. All right, we got Dickie Knowles. He'll be facing off against Luis Pujols, Landestoy, and Vern Rule. 55 is going to be a foul out, and that'll be a foul out to the catcher. And that's out number 1. Good job by Dickie Knowles getting the catcher to pop up. Brings up Rafael Landestoy. Landestoy, a switch hitter. A 22 is going to be pretty good. This is actually going to be a triple as he hits one out into the gap. The right fielder McBride tries to make a catch at the wall, and he bangs up against the wall. He can't get the ball. He rolls around a bit, and Landestoy, with his good speed, is going to go into third standing up. At this point, we have the pitcher spot up, and so let's go ahead and pinch hit. Cesar Cedeno is out, but we've got Craig Reynolds, Jeffrey Leonard, let's go with Jeffrey Leonard. -7 +7. All right, Jeffrey Leonard to the plate, 1 out. Runner at third base. Base hit is going to push the lead back up to 2. Right now, the Astros lead by 1. At 25, that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. Let's check the error on the center fielder. That is Gary Maddox out there, and he's going to make the catch. Let's go ahead and try to tag up, and we'll see if Landestoy can score. He is a 7 speed, and so 1-7, he'll be safe at home. The throw home is not in time, and that'll be a sacrifice fly for Jeffrey Leonard off the bench with a sac fly and an RBI. And the Astros lead 4-2. Brings up Terry Poole to the plate, 2 outs, nobody on, 1 RDM for the Astros. 26 is going to be a base hit. This goes into right center field. The right fielder McBride is able to handle the ball and get it back in cleanly, and that'll be 2 hits in the game for Terry Poole, as he is now 2 for 4 with a run scored. So Poole at first base, and Enos Cabell stands in. He had a sacrifice bunt his last at bat. He hits this one square out to right center field. On the run is Big McBride, and just short of the warning track, he makes a nice running catch for out number 3. The Astros do tack on 1, and all of a sudden a tight game, scoring a lot of runs. Don't know how that's happening, but it is happening. And let's go ahead and get a new pitcher for the Astros as we pinch hit for the pitcher spot. It's going to be Dave Smith. Smith, a right-hander, can go 7 batters and 2-2-8. Was his 5th. Neiman goes just 1 batter. I guess it's here. And it'll be Lonnie Smith, Pete Rose, and Mike Schmidt against the reliever, the ace reliever, Dave Smith. 36, that's going to be a walk. Never a good idea to walk the leadoff man, and Lonnie Smith is aboard. We got to steal with him. He's a 1-8 to steal the base, so about an 80% chance. Hits a 3, and Lonnie Smith is in there easily with the stolen base, as he puts himself in scoring position for Pete Rose. Rose hitless in this one. He is going to remain hitless as he strikes out. Dave Smith gets him with a K. That'll be out number 1. Smith with a 20% K percentage, 85 Ks in 102 and 2/3 innings. Smith was 7-5 with a 1.93 ERA in 1980. 13, that's going to be a grounder right back to the pitcher. The pitcher looks back the runner at second base, and he is going to throw over to first for the out. Schmidt now 0 for 4. Whew. In a game when they really needed him to come through. He has not yet. So runner at second base in scoring position for Big McBride. McBride walked and scored a run in his last at-bat. He's going to stroke one into right center field here. As a 6 speed, he's actually going to turn that into a double, as his speed gets him to second. That's going to drive in the run from first, and we have a 1-run ball game again. Score now 4-3 as Bake McBride brings in Lonnie Smith from second base. McBride now in scoring position with a good hustle double, and that brings up Manny Trio. Trio 1 for 3 on the day. He's going to have another single, as this one is poked through the hole on the right side, and that will push the runner to third. The runner is Bake McBride, and we're going to go ahead and send him. You can't guarantee that anybody's going to get another hit, so 1-6, he'll be safe at home. And the throw comes in from Gary Woods, and it is not in time. Safe at home is Big McBride on the base knock from Manny Trio. Trio now 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored, and he ties it all up at 4. Barn burner of a game here. We're in the top of the 8th inning. This is game 4 of the 1980 NLCS. Greg Luzinski, the bull, to the plate. He had a single in his last at-bat. A 22 is going to be better than that, as he rips one down the right field line, misplayed in right field by Gary Woods, who just made the throw home, and that's going to lead to an RBI triple from Greg Luzinski, who had one triple, exactly one triple in 1980. But it comes at the most opportune time here, and Dave Smith is really getting hammered, as he has given up the lead officially. It's now 5-4 with 3 runs in the top of the 8th inning for Philadelphia, who look dead in the water. Don't know how long this skipper is going to stick with Dave Smith, but he doesn't have a lot of better options. Frank LaCourte, maybe. We got a ground out. This goes to second base, and with 2 outs, that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. But not before 3 come in for the Phillies. It's now 5-4 Philadelphia over Houston. And I think it's Tug McGraw time. So we bring in the lefty, the closeout lefty for the Philadelphia Phillies. Houston gets a couple more cracks at this thing. 6 outs left. And it'll be here. We get a new pitcher. And it'll be Joe Morgan, Gary Woods, and Art Howe against Tug McGraw. McGraw 5-4 with a 1.46 ERA and 92 innings pitched in 1980. A 26 is going to be a base hit down the right field line. We're going to see about the error on McBride. No error. He's been good in right field so far. So at first base is going to be Joe Morgan. Morgan with decent speed. And Gary Woods will stand in. Woods is 1 for 3. He had an RBI in his last at-bat. 25 is going to be a fly ball with an error check that goes out into right center field. We're checking the center fielder, and the center fielder is now Lonnie Smith, and he'll make the catch out in center. That's out number 1. No movement from the runner at first base. Art Howe to the plate. Howe has been silent, pretty quiet today. He had 1 walk, a couple flyouts. A 14, though, is going to be a base hit as he wraps one down the third base line. Getting over to it quickly is Luzinski, who holds him to a single, and that's going to keep the runner at second base as well. Good job on the defensive side by Luzinski to keep that from turning into anything more than that. So that brings up Jose Cruz. Cruz is 0 for 3. A 33 is going to be a strikeout off of Tug McGraw's card as he gets Jose Cruz swinging through a pitch, and that is going to be out number 2. 2 down, man and runner in scoring position for Luis Pujols. You know what? This is a good opportunity. Let's go ahead and pinch hit with Keith Moreland. He's the backup catcher. And we're just going to pull out as many stops as we can. And Moreland is a right-hander. He is a 3 -3. So we go up a column with our batter. And Moreland will come in to finish the catching duties in this one. Let's see if he can come through with a big hit. A 14 is going to be a walk. So not a big hit, but he does draw the walk, and that's going to load the bases against Tug McGraw. This happened to him in the last game as well, and he could not hold back the dam. He did give up the runs, and we'll see if he can do that here, or if he can prevent that here. Landestoy, 2 for 3, a double, a triple, and he is going to hit this one solidly, but right to the second baseman, and that's going to be a nice throw to first for the 3rd out. So Houston loads the bases in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tug McGraw gets his team out of it with a ground ball, and we head to the top of the 9th. It is 5-4, Philadelphia over Houston. Going to leave Dave Smith in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're right there, and we'll just leave him in, see if he can get these outs. A 35 is going to be a strikeout. So Smith back to his old ways. That's strikeout number 2 for him. And the first time that they've retired Bob Boone in this one. He's got 2 walks in him on via an error. Greg Gross is a pinch hitter, so let's get another pinch hitter here. And it'll be Dale Unser. Unser comes in off the bench in the 9th inning. He's a left-handed batter. So -1 +5. Unser against Dave Smith. A 36 is going to be another walk. That's actually the 2nd walk for Dave Smith. He's got 2 walks, 2 Ks. Giving up a handful of hits. And he's got a runner on here back to the top of the order with Lonnie Smith. Lonnie Smith was one of those walks, and he came around to score, but this time he's going to strike out as Dave Smith gets the better of him. That'll be out number 2 as Smith with 2 strikeouts here in the top of the 9th. Pete Rose, the last hope for the Phillies. They lead 5-4, and he is 0 for the day, and he's going to be continue to be 0 for. This is going to be a fly ball that goes out to deep right center field. He hit it pretty well, but it'll stay in the park, and the right fielder is Gary Woods. He's going to make the catch in the gap. So Philadelphia gets one on in the 9th. They can't get him around to score, and it is 5-4 Philadelphia as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Tug McGraw kind of trying to keep the Phillies in this series. They're down 2-1 to the Astros. They've stormed back with 5 runs in the 7th and the 8th to take the lead over the Astros in Game 4. If they win this, they'll force a decisive Game 5, just like they did in real life, and we will see if McGraw can close the deal. This is going to be Jeffrey Leonard. We've got to get a new batter for him. Let's go with Denny Walling. I think Denny Walling was available. So pinch hitter in the 9th. And I am going to re-roll. So 8 minus 5. So Walling against Tug McGraw. A 36 is going to be a walk. Good start for the Astros, as they need 1 to tie. They need 2 to win. This was the position that they were in in game number 3, and they came up with 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. It was this man who did it, Terry Poole. Poole is 2 for 4, 36. That's going to be back-to-back walks, and maybe a chink in the armor for Tug McGraw. Brings up Enos Cabell. Cabell is going to bunt here. Let's try to put 2 people in scoring position. So 1 to 2, he'll be unsuccessful. Otherwise, it's a successful bunt. It's a 4, and that will be his second sacrifice of the day. That's out number 1, but that's going to put 2 runners in scoring position. So a base hit will win the game for the Astros. And they got their man up there, Joe Morgan. Joe Morgan, 3 for 4, 2 singles and a triple. A 44 is going to be a walk, and that will load the bases. So what we're going to do is play the infield in here. And the Phillies, if there is a fielder's choice, they're going to go home, not to second. And if there's a double play, they're going to go home to first, will be the double play. So Gary Woods to the plate, looking to lift the ball, and let's see if he can get one to the outfield. A 33 is going to be a strikeout. Oh, wow. Tug McGraw. Woo. Gets him looking. Gary Woods. Can't pull the trigger. Houston's got 1 bullet left. And they got the bases loaded. This is game number 4. Philly looking to hold on. They're up 5 to 4. That would force a decisive game 5. And we will see, can Art Howe come through in the clutch? Art Howe on the season, 283 average, 795 OPS, 127 weighted runs created plus, 283 average, 10 homers, 46 RBIs. Can he come through against the all-everything Tug McGraw? A 15 is going to be a ground out as he scorches one, but right to the shortstop. The shortstop's going to go the short way, and that will be the end of your ball game as Art Howe grounds out with the bases loaded in the 9th inning. All he needed was a base hit, but Tug McGraw shut the door and said, "Enough soup for you," as the Phillies win this one by a score of 5 to 4. And let me put this on pause, and I will come back with all the totals. All right, and we are back with our totals. So 5, 7, 9. Sorry, almost the totals. So 1, 2. That's 1. So 1 error on Houston. And just 1 error on the Phillies. All right, so 5 runs on 5 hits and 1 error for Philadelphia. And for Houston, it's 4 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. The player of the game is going to be Greg Luzinski. Luzinski came in here as a pinch hitter in the, in the 7th inning. He delivers a single. And then he'll go get around on an error. He also delivered the game-winning RBI triple, and so he hits the actual game-winning hit of the game. And he was 2 for 2 coming off the bench and playing toward the end of the game. Pitching, Steve Carlton goes 6 innings, gives up 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks. Dick Knowles goes 1 inning, gets the win, 2 hits, 1 run, no walks and no Ks, and the save goes to Tug McGraw, who goes 2 innings, gives up 2 hits, no runs, had 4 walks, and a lot of traffic here, especially in the 9th inning, and 2 strikeouts. The loss goes to Dave Smith, who goes 2 innings, gives up 3 hits and 3 runs, all of them earned here through in the 8th inning. He did have 2 walks and 3 Ks. Vern Rule started the game, went 6 2/3, just 2 hits, gives up 2 runs, 1 is earned, and 4 walks and 3 Ks. And then Randy Neiman, just a third of an inning to close out some trouble here in the 7th inning. Notable players for the Astros: Joe Morgan is 3 for 4 with a walk, a couple singles, a triple, an RBI, a run scored. Couple of sacrifice hits for Enos Cabell, put guys in scoring position, most notably Terry Poole. Poole was 2 for 4 with a couple of singles and a run scored. And Landestoy down here had 2 hits as well, a double and a triple, and 1 RBI for the Astros. So that will take us to Game 5. Tied 2-2. And so just like the actual series, this one is going to go the distance. This is a best-of-5 series in the 1980 National League Championship Series. Our series is tied at 2-2. And so we're going to go back to Philadelphia, I believe. No, that's not right. It stays in Houston for 3 games. So we got 3 games in Houston. We've already played 2. And we are going to have 1 more game. Let's see if the Phillies can take care of business. I believe it'll be Ruthven on the mound, but I have to check and see. And maybe Nolan Ryan. I'm not sure who's going to go. Ken Forsch, Nolan Ryan. I'm not sure who goes in Game 5. So we'll just have to check that out. Thanks for sticking around for another game of On Base Baseball. You can purchase this season, the 1980 season, plus many others, at clarkandaddisongaming.com. I'll put a link in the description directly to all the On Base seasons. And On Base Baseball is just 1 game that we publish, and so you can check out some of the other sports and the other baseball games that we publish there. If you haven't subscribed but you find yourself coming back here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. If you like this video, enjoyed the game, just give it a thumbs up. That's a super easy way to support what we're doing here, and it helps us with the Google algorithm. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down in the comments section. We'll get to those pretty quickly. And love to have your thoughts on what's going on with how I can improve, what you'd like to see, what you don't like about some of my presentation. And just let me know, ways that I can make this better, ways that can be a better listen for you or a better watch. All right, I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.